bring everything but the hog. I think we eat nothing but grass, what you talking about? I'm about to jump into the whip and hit the Whole Foods early. Get everything to get that soul food working, like mac and cheese, the collard greens, the black eyed peas, and get a roast of that tofu turkey. Got cornbread, even got stuffing. Mashed potatoes so good, put your hand in it. String beans, and you know we got yams with it. Got cabbage and greens.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another vegan weekly news by your host Tofu Tommy. And if this is your first time checking out this channel, it would mean a lot for a big thumbs up and a subscribe. So obviously the first main news in the vegan community has to be about Durianrider. Obviously he had his channel taken down recently, and there was a suspect that this guy here, Vegan, actually was a big part of it, or at least that he took credit for it. So this video that I'm about to play, it basically shows you exactly what I'm talking about.
You can't steal people's content, talk about, you know, just homophobic, transphobic comments. You can't slander people like that. Use their content and then say, it's just fair usage, just fair usage. That's not how it works. Plenty of warnings, plenty of warnings. YouTube, review the channel, deleted. Violation terms of service.
What goes around comes around.
So, as you can see there, he's obviously standing out YouTube headquarters. I think anybody could basically do that, guys, because let's be honest about it, anybody could go to YouTube headquarters and stand out there. He never actually showed that he actually went in there. There was no proof of anything at all. But just check out this that I'm about to play. Like I say, Durianrider has got his channel back. I think this is absolutely great news, being honest, because let's be honest about it, Durianrider has a massive influence in the vegan community. Look at all the people that he has actually turned vegan, well, not turned vegan, but inspired to go vegan. We all know that he's got his really bad points, but the guy has got some good points as well. Like I say, look at the legacy he leaves behind, the activists that have actually been inspired to go vegan, people like Joey Carbstrong and such likes. Obviously they're not friends now, but that's something that we really need to look at. Like I say, Durianrider was my big inspiration for a lot of people, and he has done some really bad things in the past, but like I say, the legacy he leaves behind is really means an awful lot to a lot of people. Like I say, look at the people he's actually inspired to go vegan. It actually was one of the inspirations that I actually went vegan. One of the few that I actually looked at, one of many. Obviously people like the vegan geezer, the vegan activist, and people like that were big inspirations for me, and obviously everybody knew about Durianrider, so he was one. So here's his video that he's actually plays you, actually showing you that he is back.
Daddy's back. That beautiful view here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Oh, a bit stiff with the gym yesterday. So yeah, back on YouTube. Thank you, that person who got me back on. I won't say how it happened, but anyway, I'm just going for a quick call.
So as you can see, he's back. Somebody got his channel back up and running. I don't know how that happened, like I say, because usually if you're terminated, that's usually the end. It's different if you're suspended, but his channel had actually been terminated, because if you don't know all about it, basically they said that his channel had been taken down, or so Durianrider said anyway, that it was spam bots. So people were obviously clicking likes on his channel and obviously reporting them to get his channel taken down. But this guy, Vegan, obviously said that he was behind it. He went to YouTube headquarters and basically had a file document and basically showed everything about him and got his channel taken down. But like I say, I think that it's great that his channel's back. The YouTube community is really getting very toxic, and it's really terrible that the animals are suffering because of this, because each time a person that's got a big following loses their channel, the animals suffer. Obviously Durianrider's not been doing a great lot of vegan content, and I hope he goes back to doing that, because I would love to see him start doing a lot more for the animals. But recently his channel's kind of took different directions, maybe because of the way YouTube's going. But let me know in the comments below, is this a good thing in your opinion? Is it a bad thing, and why? Let me know. I would like to hear from all different opinions, guys. The next article for today is vegan burger from Impossible Foods will now be served in universities nationwide. This is absolutely great, like I say, because it's the way we're brought up, like I say, especially in the schooling setting. This is where a lot of animal products are actually learned and actually introduced into our diet, and if we can target these type of things like the mainstream schooling, this is where things are actually going to progress. So the popular Impossible Burger brand is planning a big expansion, taking their attention off restaurants for a moment. They are now launching sales to universities, companies and other institutions. Later today, the acclaimed Impossible Burger will be making its first campus debut at University of Chicago's Quantum Cafe. Not too long after this, it will be also making its debut at the Tiffin Cafe at the University of Chicago's International House. Both of these cafes are run by Bon Appetit Management Company, a popular sustainable food provider. Currently, the company runs over 1,000 cafes for universities, businesses and museums in over 33 states across America. The Impossible Burger will also be launched in 100 prestigious locations through New York-based company Restaurant Associates. These locations including performing arts centres, corporate dining, education facilities and more. It says here, David Lee, Impossible Foods Chief Operations Officer and Chief Finance Officer, spoke about the expansion. Impossible fans love to order the burger at their favourite restaurants, and with the average American eating burgers 3 times per week, more and more people want to enjoy the Impossible Burger at work or at a campus. He began, we're now opening for business with universities, companies and other institutions focused on providing sustainable, nutritious and delicious food to their patrons. The burger was obviously released a year ago by Impossible Foods and already has over 100 restaurants across the country. It's also got a significantly smaller footprint than the traditional meat, using 75% less water to produce, generating 87% fewer greenhouse gases and requiring 95% land. If the trends continue, they said that we're expecting to see the Impossible Burger popping up in many more locations as well. So guys, I think this is absolutely amazing news, because as we all know, 1/4 pounder burger takes up to 660 gallons, which equals not showering for 1 month. Let's say 91% of the rainforest destroyed for animal agriculture, which is a football pitch every single second, just to farm animals. Let's say 500,000 people in the UK are actually vegan at the moment. So it's a big step forward. Let's say every day as a vegan, you've got to remember that you save 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of rainforest, 20 pounds of CO2, carbon dioxide in one animal's life. So this is amazing news. Let me know in the comments below, do you think this would be a great addition to universities? If you're a university student, would you like to see this in your university? Or does your university already have vegan options? Please let me know in the comments below as well. That would mean so much. So the next article is a bit shocking to say the least. Nude Alicia Silverstone appears in Portland for vegan anti-rule campaign. It says here, actress and author and activist Alicia Silverstone is turning heads in Oregon this week. The clueless star is featured naked in a giant Peta billboard in Portland in an effort to bring awareness to the egregious practices of the common wool industry. The star in billboard said she'd rather go naked than wear wool. It's just so fast, it's shearing process, Silverstone said about the wool industry in a recent interview with Peta. The sheep are caught, they're harmed, they even get very seriously wounded, and there's no care for them when they're wounded. It's just move on to the next. So here's the billboard here. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think that's a step a bit too far? I don't see why that obviously relates. Obviously she's meaning basically like you're stripping the wool of its fur, you're making it naked, so that's why she's going naked. But she says a lot of misconceptions about the wool procurement process persist. Mainly the shearing doesn't hurt the animal, that is much needed haircut, but it's most often not the case in the large overcrowded farms that has housed thousands of animals. Wool shearing and practices like mulesing which were excess skin from the rears of the sheep, can be extremely painful for the docile animals. Sheep are also one of the top producers of methane gas, which has been linked to global warming. So she's very, very right. They do link a lot to global warming. Like I say, let me know if this is a good thing. Like I say, do you think this is good or not? Like I say, it's great to see people like her making a stance, because she's got a big voice, and obviously with somebody like Alicia Silverstone that people look up to, and seeing this on Peta billboards, hopefully it will change people's misconceptions about veganism and why it is a lifestyle. It's not a diet, it's about the animals, it's not a diet. So the last article for the day is UK sales of vegan and vegetarian food meat alternatives are up at least 37%. Amazing news, because you think of it, we're actually growing enough food in this world to feed 10 billion people, but there's only actually 7.5 billion people on the planet, and that's because we feed that to the animals to obviously get their meat, but we actually get less pound for pound. Like I say, 1.5 acre of land can actually get you 37 pounds of meat, which can get you 37,000 pounds of actual vegetables. And like I say, there's nearly 100 million starving around the world, and we use 45% of the world's land just for farmed animals, and a third of water as well. So that's shocking to think of, guys. Like I say, so they're saying here the national statistics released by the UK's Department for Environmental, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, has revealed that over the last 2 decades, people are increasingly shopping for more ethical food options, including plant-based meat alternatives, certified organic, fair trade, free range and freedom free foods, also known as RSPCA approved. Like I say, this free range, don't get bought into that, because free range eggs and all this, there's still the exact same cruelty that happens on normal, what they call normal farms. The very same thing happens in organic and free range and such likes. Like I say, it's just a name tag, so don't think there's any different. Like I say, the only way to limit your cruelty to the animals is by going vegan. But obviously as well, as vegans, we still have an impact on the world, but like I say, try to be vegan and try to do it as much as you possibly can, limits that. So that is the most thing you can do. Like I say, vegetarian is just a step to what the next level is, that's vegan. Let's see, ethical food sales now make up to 10% of all household food sales in the UK, accounting for 9 billion of household food sales in 2015. Between 1919 and 2015, sales of vegetarian meat alternatives rose by 36%. According to DEFRA, Rainforest Alliance made up largest single share in 2015, accounting for 23% of the total ethical food sector. These statistics show an increasing awareness in the UK for potential unethical food practices in the food production, particularly in terms of environmental impact. So they're saying there that it's accounting for 23% of ethical food sector. The trend mirrors the rise in veganism and plant-based foods. The issue is being discussed in Parliament or among the select groups as a way of reaching climate change targets, promoting an environmental research to suggest that getting used to new flavours is a really walk in the park compared with the wrath of the climate change. And that's really true. It is a walk in the park, guys. Like I say, they're telling you here the current momentum behind the vegan movement has resulted in the prediction that plant-based eating will be a major trend for 2018. It's already a major trend. It's so easy. Like I say, every single option you can get on your standard American diet, you can get veganised, whether that's pizza, cakes, vegan mock meats, they're everywhere. Like I say, obviously your staples, your beans, your rice, your seeds, your legumes, all your dairy, you can get egg-free dairy. Like I say, you can get things like obviously the vegan egg. You get, there's so much out there by beyond their heart. You get vegan mayonnaise, also your plant-based milks, oat milk, rice milk, almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk. Just try and test them all out to see what suits you. But like I say, veganism is booming. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you seen big trends in your supermarkets? Even in the past 2 years, it's just come up in my 2-year anniversary on January 12th, which will be my birthday. I'll be 2 years vegan. I've seen such a big boom in supermarkets, dedicated vegan aisles. There's even vegan options sitting next to the animal-based products to obviously entice people to try out the plant-based option, which is absolutely amazing. I hope you have liked this little vegan news podcast. As always, it would mean the world if I subscribe. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, follow me on there, and I'm also on Patreon as well. So remember, as always, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings, and be kind to every kind. The only difference is your perception. Speak to you all. Binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love yous.